Hello everyone. Welcome back to Everyday English Stories. Today, we have a touching story set in a remote mountain village, and we'll learn some useful new words together. Have you ever heard a story that made you think about kindness or honesty? If so, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Hi there. I'm excited to join you for this episode. We'll listen to a real-life-inspired conversation, pause to explain key vocabulary words, and discuss what the story means for us today. So, let's jump right into the story and learn together.
Our story begins in a remote mountain village of a Southeast Asian country. Now, let's explain that word remote.
Remote means a place that is far away from cities or towns and not easy to visit. Imagine a quiet area surrounded by mountains with only a few small houses.
Exactly. Living in a remote area often means life is simple and sometimes more challenging. It's a great setting for our story because it helps us focus on the people and their actions.
That's right, and in this village, there lived a kind-hearted man from an ethnic minority group. He worked hard every day to support his family.
This man earned a modest living by picking pepper in the forest. Let's pause. Hera, do you know what pepper means in this context?
Pepper in this story is a type of spice. It comes from small seeds that grow on a plant. People pick and dry them to use in cooking.
Right. And to earn a living means to make money to support yourself or your family. It's how people pay for food, clothes, and everything they need.
Exactly. The man's job might sound simple, but it's very important to his family's well-being.
Every morning, he rode off on his old, worn-out motorbike to start work. Now, let's explain worn out.
Worn out means something is very old and used a lot. For example, if you wear the same shoes every day, they might become worn out, torn, dirty, or not working well.
That's a good example. Riding a worn-out motorbike on a narrow road can be risky, which leads us to the next part of the story.
Yes, and that's exactly what happens to the man on his way to work.
While traveling along the narrow road, he suddenly had to swerve to avoid an oncoming vehicle. Do you know what swerve means?
To swerve means to turn quickly to avoid hitting something. For example, if a dog runs in front of your bike, you might swerve to miss it.
But sometimes, swerving can cause another problem. In this story, the man crashed into the back of a parked pickup truck. Let's pause. Crash into means?
Crash into means to hit something by accident, usually with force. It's unplanned and can cause damage, like what happens here.
The impact shattered one of the truck's taillights and dented its rear bumper. Now, taillight is a useful wordo. You know what it is?
A taillight is the red light on the back of a car or truck. It helps other drivers see the vehicle, especially at night.
Exactly. And dented means something is bent or damaged by being hit. For example, if you hit your bicycle against a wall, it might get dented.
Even though the truck was damaged, the man was lucky he wasn't hurt.
Feeling responsible, the man waited by the roadside for the truck's owner to return. After some time, the owner appeared. The pepper picker stood up and admitted it was his fault. This shows he was humble. Let's explain that word.
Humble means not proud or showing off. A humble person is simple, respectful, and honest about their mistakes.
That's right. And being humble is a valuable quality, especially when it's difficult to admit you made a mistake.
Yes, and the man went further. He sincerely offered to compensate for the damage with a day's wages.
Let's pause for two key words: compensate and wages. Compensate means to give something, usually money, to make up for a loss or damage.
And wages are the money someone earns for working. In this story, the man's daily wages are about 10.
He sincerely, meaning honestly, and with true feeling offered this money to the truck owner. He even asked to keep just 2 to buy milk for his child at home.
That small request shows his honesty and his care for his family.
The truck owner was deeply moved by the man's honesty and humility. He refused to take any money. Now, refuse means what?
Refuse means to say no or not accept something. So, the owner did not take the man's money.
Instead, he showed gratitude. He was thankful for the man's sincerity. Gratitude is a strong feeling of thankfulness.
The owner told the man to go home and take care of his child, saying, "Your sincerity is worth far more than what was damaged."
The next afternoon, the man returned with a gesture of thanks. Now, gesture means an action to show feelings or intentions, like a gift or a kind act.
He brought a large sack of freshly picked pepper as a gift to the truck owner. This gesture showed his deep gratitude and respect.
The owner accepted the pepper with both hands and a grateful heart. This simple act created a strong bond between two strangers.
It's a great reminder that kindness and honesty can make the world a better place, even in the quietest corners.
Let's think about this story in our own lives. Have you ever made a mistake and had to decide whether to be honest or not?
It's easy to hide mistakes, especially if you're worried about getting in trouble or losing money. But as we saw, honesty often brings respect and understanding from others.
That's true. In today's fast-paced world, a small gesture of honesty or gratitude can make a huge difference. Why do you think people sometimes choose not to admit their mistakes?
Sometimes it's fear, or maybe pride. But stories like this show us the real value of honesty and how even a humble gesture can touch someone's heart.
Now, let's quickly review the vocabulary we learned today. I'll say each word and you'll give us a simple example sentence. Ready? First, remote.
Sure, remote. Our school is in a remote village far from the city.
Pepper.
She likes to put pepper on her eggs in the morning.
Earn a living.
He earns a living by fixing bicycles.
Worn out.
My shoes are worn out after walking so much.
Swerve.
The car had to swerve to avoid a dog.
Crash into.
He crashed into the wall by accident.
Taillight.
The car's taillight was broken in the accident.
Dented.
My bike's wheel is dented.
Humble.
She is humble, even though she won the prize.
Compensate.
He will compensate me for the lost book.
Wages.
Her wages are paid every Friday.
Sincerely.
He sincerely apologized for his mistake.
Refuse.
She refused the offer politely.
Gratitude.
He showed gratitude by sending a thank you note.
Gestur.
Giving flowers is a gesture of love.
Now, here's a question for you. If you were in the pepper picker's place, what would you have done after the accident? Would you stay and wait or leave a note?
We'd love to hear your answers. You can share your ideas in the comments or discuss with a friend. Thinking about these situations helps you practice English and make decisions in real life.
That's all for today's episode. Thank you for joining us and for being curious and open to learning. Remember, every story you read or listen to helps your English grow stronger.
Keep practicing. Don't be afraid of mistakes, and always try to use new words in your daily life. Your effort will pay off.
See you next time, everyone. Stay positive, keep learning, and remember a small gesture can make a big difference in language and in life.
Bye for now. And here's a quick tip. Try writing a short story using today's vocabulary. It's a fun way to remember new words and express your ideas.